Welcome again, Maxim here, and in this video I will talk about Necralisk and Cambion Drift. This is the third and final open world in Warframe. As before, it is connected to the hub with some NPCs that provide various services. I will discuss what you can get from them, what are the activities on Cambion Drift, and how to farm syndicate standing points the most efficient way. First person you met after entering Cambion Drift is Necraloyd. It is an automatic, cybernetic consciousness. Even two. Due to the crisis situation, two systems, Loid and Otak, were placed in one hardware unit. And Otak is not entirely normal. Through the Heart of Deimos story quest, they will introduce you to the current situation on Drift and help you search for missing and asleep members of the Entrati family. After completing the task, they will be available in Necralisk. Before we get to know them, however, let's take a look at Syndicate system here, as it is different from the Cities and Fortuna. On Cities, you earn Syndicate standing points by playing bounties or basic activities, mining, hunting or fishing. Same on Fortuna, but you will also find debt bonds there, a form of currency, or rather tokens, that can be exchanged for additional reputation. The evolution of this system finally brings us to the Necralisk, where you do not earn Syndicate standing points, neither by bounties or by any other activity. Here you get tokens, but also not directly. You exchange the acquired items with a specific NPC, fish guts with daughter, animal tags with son, ores and minerals with Otak, other local resource with father. Grandma also has her tokens, worth more than the others. Exchanging others' tokens for her is a very good deal, but this system isn't perfect. The offers to exchange goods for tokens are random and time limited, although they change regularly or renew if you have used all of them, but they always will oblige you to return a random item or items. You never know which ones you will need for the next offer. I will talk more about farming Entrati later. Now let's finally visit all NPCs here. Let's start with Otak. He is specializing in mining. You can get his tokens for collected ores and crystals. You can also buy blueprints that will turn them into useful resources in the foundry. But there is also a standard offer for platinum. If you are interested with Warframe named Citrine, you can exchange with Otak Belrix and Rania's crystals, obtainable from the Mirror Defense on Mars, for Citrine parts, or some other interesting stuff. Next is Grandmother. She exchanges family tokens for Entrati standing points, other family member tokens for her own, sells cosmetic items, or gives even more tokens for local resources. Going further, you will meet Father. In addition to exchanging resources for tokens, Father provides kit gun services. He sells his own parts for them, but also components for Lavos, several weapons, and unique mods. Upstairs you will meet Sun. He provides services related to the animals. You can buy pheromones and lures for hunting, items needed to make own Predacite or Vulpophyla, 2 orbiter segments, and cosmetics. In addition, you can get fluffs, companion mods, or Sun's tokens for animal tags. At Daughters you will find assortment related to the fish. 2 plague spears for fishing, blueprints of trophies, and baits. You can also cut fish into parts to exchange them for tokens. Fish organs, their parts, and various other resources can be found all over the Cambion Drift in a variety of containers and from Requiem Pylons. Thanks to this, at any moment you will be able to collect fish parts, which otherwise would be limited by specific daytime. We will discuss them soon. There are 2 more characters left. One of them is Mother, a typical quest giver. Here you can increase Entrati level when you get the right amount of points, or start a bounty, normal or Vault 1. On the surface, you can also start the third type, Isovault Arcana. They are the best to farm weapon parts or arcanes. The last trader in this place is Loid. It is behind this wall, and you can get there only in the operator form. He represents his own syndicate named Necraloyd. You increase it with the Requiem matryces from destroyed necramechs. For standing points, you can buy parts for your own necramechs, their weapons, mods, and cosmetics. As you progress through the syndicate, check the Requiem symbols below regularly. Each symbol tells a fragment of the story of Albrecht Entrati, the first person who wanted to open a portal to the void and enter it. Find out yourself what happened to him. Now let's go out to Cambion Drift. The area is the smallest of all 3 open worlds, but there is a plenty to see and to do. It is a completely different land. On Cetus, there was a day and night cycle, Fortuna, warm and cold. And here we have Fuzz and Foam, 2 gigantic worms that represent day and night. They are constantly fighting each other. When one wakes up, it kills the other immediately. The defeated one disappears for the duration of its regeneration, and when it returns, starts its cycle with killing. On each time cycle, you can find the remains of the lately killed one. You can destroy them and pick up fragments. This is one of the local resources. Standard activities here: mining, fishing and hunting. Mining does not differ much from the other worlds. Fishing, on the other hand, it is different for sure. The local fish can swim, but also fly. While they fly, you can catch them with any kind of spear, but their sound will scare them a lot. The plague spears from Daughter are silent, and in addition, they can penetrate the surface of the fluids here, because it is not water. Warframes can walk on it normally, although the fish can swim in it. Which type of fish you can catch depends on the time, whether it's fast or foam, where you fish, surface or cave, and whether you use a bait in the hotspots. Hunting is quite similar to what you already know, except that you can catch Predicites and Vulpophilas normally or weekend for breeding your own companion. I have talked about this in other video. You see it in the upper right corner right now, it is also in the description. You can come across Velocipods, giant dragonflies that can be used like a K-drive. Speaking of which, when you pull out the regular one and use it, you will see purple points on a large map. These are races similar to the Valleys ones. There will be a few available each day. Some of them will give you a unique plague parts for a new K-drive. The last essential free activity are the Requiem Pylons. These are constructions that can be activated by shooting a crystal with an amp. And if you kill enemies with your operator, the column can generate interesting resources, fish parts and minerals, even the rare ones. However, each Requiem symbol works differently. To make pylon to generate resources, you must meet the condition. The pylon itself must participate in killing. Each killed mob must be affected by the pylon, or be in close range to it. The best symbols for farming resources are Vom, Reese, Kra and Yahoo. Before we move on, I will mention fallen or unmanned necramechs. Depending on the time on Deimos, the necramechs will either fight the infested on their own, or you will be able to enter fallen ones with your operator and use them to fight. Okay, let's move on to the bounties. What can be useful on regular and arcana ones? Good DPS, killing fast with area attacks, like Volt, Sarin, Octavia, Ember, Speed Nova will also be useful. Those who like and are experienced in it can use Lavos or Revenant. Everything that can kill quickly and efficiently. Necros, on the other hand, will be useful for the bounties in the Isolation Vault, to create additional matrices and parts from killed necramechs. Once you reach the vault, you will have 1 to 3 necramechs to kill, depending on the vault's level. They can be difficult opponents. Try not to get too close to them, because Voidric will then activate his covers. Aim at the shoulders and back, or use area weapons or abilities. After killing the necramechs, you can complete an additional part of the bounty. Escort Loid, activate crystals, and then put them in the right combination to get into the inner vault for additional reward. Matrices are also in the reward pool for the bounty itself, but if you want to farm them to the Necraloyd syndicate, it's best to take Necros, some area or beam weapons with punch through, and repeat the bounty on the third vault without opening the inner one. Now let's talk about Entrati farming. Due to the fact that the exchange of resources for tokens is random and the offer is limited in time, you can buy all of the offers, but you cannot farm them any further till they reset. Farming syndicate points by collecting resources for daughter, son, grandmother, Otak and father is not efficient. To buy them, you simply need everything from the domain of a given NPC, every single resource. It is different when it comes to mother tokens. You always get them by completing bounties. No time limits. Farm when and how much you want. Which bounty is the best? Looking at the increasing profit with each subsequent level of the bounty, I would suggest the highest that you will be able to play. It is known that not every player has an unlocked steel path, and among those who have it, not everyone likes it, or has builds good enough to do it efficiently. Anyway, on the 5th bounty I got 150 tokens in 10 minutes. Depending on the tasks, one try should last from 9 to 12 minutes. If you try the steel path and finish it, for instance in 20 minutes, you should try lower levels. Over time, you will get more tokens for playing the 5th bounty. It is also important whether you are playing solo or in a team. When playing alone, you will finish much faster due to the lack of the multiplier on the objectives of the tasks to be completed. The more players, the bigger multiplier. Team play is more convenient, but one bounty can last even 15 minutes. About the tokens of the rest of the family. I'm not saying that you should not be interested in them. On the contrary, if you have the required items, of course, buy their tokens. Visiting the pylons will be very helpful here. For some of players, it is a more pleasant form of obtaining resources than mining and fishing. However, Mother's tokens are the most convenient way of farming Entrati. You are not limited in any way of farming them. As a curiosity, I would like to add that you can find an interesting secret in one of the vaults sometimes. Through the room you see right now, you can get to the lower level by solving a mini puzzle. You need to throw back items that are spat out from that hole. After each successful throw, you need to shoot some marked elements above the hole and repeat that process until your way down is clear. At the bottom, you will find special mob that can drop mods for necramechs, so Necros will be useful here. Currently, there are no bosses on Cambion Drift, and Necraloyd himself only has 3 syndicate levels. This place will definitely get more content over time, but at the moment there's nothing left to say, so that would be it for this video. If you have any questions, please type them in the comment section or visit one of my streams, link in the description. See you next time, bye.